Hello there, friends. It's Jimmie Maverick, and we are only about 2 weeks away from the start of the NFL season, so I'm very excited. I've got a bunch of drafts coming up in the next 2 weeks, and I just found out today that in my standard points league, where I have won 2 of the past 4 seasons, has announced that I'm going to be picking 10th in a 12-team league, so that's what we're going to mock tonight. We're going to do standard points, Yahoo draft, picking 10th, and we'll see what kind of team we can assemble. So in order to do this, we are going to use my app, which is My Perfect Fantasy Draft. You can access this app exclusively through my website, fantasyfootballmaverick.com, and I encourage you to go there today. Just click on the Get the App button. You can get it. You can utilize it in all of your fantasy drafts this season. It is quite helpful in helping you find the absolute best place, the best player at each and every round of your draft. I'm going to show you how it works. It's a super easy setup. You just have to answer 3 questions to get the app going. Question 1 is, how does your league score points? We are going to go standard points. Question 2 is, do you want to engage Jimmie's recommended player filters? We are going to go ahead and say yes. And then, do you want to enter draft mode? Draft mode asks, what's the size of your league and what is your draft position? So in this case, we are in a 12-team league. Come on, let's take the 12-team. Sometimes there's a little bit of a hiccup here getting this thing going. There we go, 12-team and picking 10th. There we go. We'll enter draft mode. It'll load it up in just a second. So you can see that the draft just started. Saquon Barkley, first player off the board. That is no surprise. So what you have here is you got your player list down here. You got recommendations right here, and I'm just going to minimize those recommendations so we just see the player names. These are the position filters, so if you want to look at just quarterbacks or running backs or wide receivers, that allows you to do that. And then these tabs represent each round of the draft, and so you can see we can go up to 20 rounds, but in fact, this is only like a 15-round draft, so that's what we're going to do. So we just click on round number 1, and you can see that the app is recommending, hold on here, there we go, it just updated, Todd Gurley, James Conner, or Juju Smith-Schuster. Great way to start the draft. And even though Todd Gurley is the top-ranked player, according to my app, I actually want to go with Conner just because I trust him a little bit more health-wise, and Todd Gurley might slip. It's a very good chance that he will fall to a later round. So let's go ahead and let's take James Conner with our first pick. And obviously, if Conner gets taken, I'll take Todd Gurley. Zeke Elliott would also be a great choice. I got no qualms about taking Zeke. He might miss a few games, but I will just focus on getting Tony Pollard if I do that. Even if I don't take Zeke, I'm still probably going to focus on Tony Pollard to get him. It is almost our pick. James Conner is still on the board, though. Looks like Zeke Elliott is gone already. And let's go ahead and Yahoo has Todd Gurley buried at number 34. That's ridiculous. I'm going to get him queued up, though. So let's go ahead and we'll take Conner with our first pick, and we are on our way. So now all we need to do is just click on the 2, and you can see that it's updated the recommendations. So now for this round, it's saying Todd Gurley is also a great... Oh, I'm sorry. No, it just switched. It's a little bit of a delay today in my internet. I think my internet's just a wee bit slow. It's usually much more responsive. But Tyreek Hill's the top player recommendation. Juju Smith-Schuster, Joe Mixon. So we got some good choices here. Normally, I like to go with a wide receiver in the second round, but I've noticed in standard point leagues that the third round for us is starved for good running backs. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to save the third round pick for our elite wide receiver, or near elite actually at that point. And let's focus on getting ourselves a quality second running back. So you can see that Todd Gurley's a long shot, so if he makes it, we take him. Joe Mixon, Dalvin Cook, Marlon Mack. Let's see who's available. Is Gurley? He is still on the board. So let's just go ahead and take him, man. Conner and Gurley is our top 2 running backs. That's a heck of a way to start the draft. Let's move on to the third round here, and you can see that there are still going to be really good wide receivers available at this point in the draft. T.Y. Hilton, Robert Woods, Chris Godwin. Now, I do consider Woods and Godwin's 2s, wide receiver 2s, but T.Y. Hilton is absolutely a 1. He's always been a 1. And you can see that this is actually, there's a very short round between this pick and our next pick. Our next pick is pick 39. So that's why the player the players that we're choosing from is more limited in this round as opposed to the next round. And we can look more in that in detail after we get our fourth pick done. But so let's queue up T.Y. Hilton, Robert Woods, and Chris Godwin. Let's get all those guys up. Stephon Diggs, too. Let's queue up all those guys. And this is something that I love to do. I love to use the queue feature in the draft board because it keeps me focused on who's still available, and it lets me know if anyone falls. There's Diggs. If any of these 4 players fall to the next round, then that would give me the opportunity to go ahead and take them. But I do like the idea of going with the wide receiver. As far as running backs goes, again, very limited right here in this round, with only Leonard Fournette and Devonta Freeman being the options, and they are both long shots. That's what this little gun means. And basically all that means is there's less than a 50-50 shot that those players will actually even make it to our pick. So I'm not going to count on it. I'm not going to look for them. And really, we do need to get ourselves a wide receiver. So we'll get one of those 4 that we queued up. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pause till it gets to our next pick because there's a big, long gap here. We'll see who's available, and we'll take our player. All right, so it's almost back to us, and I see that there's another player who we haven't considered yet, but Adam Thielen is another player who should have gone after our second-round pick. And if we look at Thielen, his value rank is 40, but that compares with 43 for Robert Woods, 53 for Chris Godwin, 44 for Stephon Diggs. I think we need to go with the best value player we can get. So let's go ahead and take Thielen with this pick. And now I want to move back to running backs in the 4th round, and you can see there's a larger pool available. You can see that the list of players is substantially longer just because of the gap between the 4th and the 5th pick is much larger than the gap between the 3rd and the 4th. But in the 4th round, it's recommending Brandon Cooks, Phillip Lindsay, Josh Jacobs. I definitely want to go back to the running backs. And there's actually some amazing picks right here. Josh Jacobs, who value rank is 24. David Montgomery, value rank 27. Chris Carson, value rank 30. Phillip Lindsay, value rank 41. So all these guys are undervalued or fair valued relative to our draft position. And I really like what I've been hearing about David Montgomery, so I definitely want to target him in this round. So let's go Montgomery, and then Carson, and then Jacobs for the options for this round. So let's just go ahead and put on the running backs here. So you can see that we have Jacobs, we've got Montgomery, we've got Lindsay, and where is Carson? Where is he? I got blindness here. Looks like Chris Carson has already been taken, which is fine. David Montgomery is my first choice. That means we've got Connor Gurley and Montgomery as our running backs. That is amazing depth. That is really, really good. Jumping to the 5th round, you can see that it's recommending Tevin Coleman, Alshon Jeffrey, Baker Mayfield, and those are all good choices. Oh, let me just show you what's going on here. So when we look at the 4th round, that's our pick 39, right? Round 5 is pick 58. So there's this huge gap. So what we're seeing here is all the players ranked between pick 36 and pick 59. So there's a little bit of overlap on each side. And so we're looking at this entire pool of players to see who are the players that score the best according to what I call the VORC score. Now, VORC stands for Value, Outlook, Reliability, and Consistency. It's these 4 columns over here. I call them the 4 key stats. This is what I look at when I'm evaluating players. And based on how they score on each of these 4 things, they get points. And then those points are added up. That gives you the VORC score. Now, they can also get negative points if they score very poorly. For instance, 1-star outlook gets you negative points. Low reliability gets you negative points. A consistency rating of 1 or 2 gets you negative points, and you'll see that reflected down here. Likewise, the value, the value score of the VORC score is actually your pick less the value. So you want positive numbers here. So for instance, Brandon Cooks here, his value is 35, pick 39. So he gets 4 points for value. So that means he's undervalued relative to his draft position. Whereas someone like Jarvis Landry, whose value rank is 73, has negative 20 points for value. It maxes out at negative 20. But it pulls him then down the list, so there's better choices for you to take at this point in the draft. Landry is a poor choice at this point in the draft. So let's look at the 5th round players. So I think we should definitely queue up Coleman. Coleman does offer decent value, and he would be a depth play for us. And Phillip Lindsay is a long shot for this round as well, so he might make it back to us. You can see he's still on the board, although his chances of making it to us, actually pretty good. He's hiding down here. See, he's hiding below the event horizon of what everyone's looking at. What other running backs are still on the board here from last round? Well, all the ones that we queued up except for Lindsay are gone. Sanders, White, Cohen, Murray. Yeah, I don't like any of those guys. They're not good options for fantasy. But I will take Lindsay in a hot minute if he makes it back to us. Let's also put Coleman on. Did Coleman get taken? Oh my gosh, I can't believe it, man. Coleman's getting taken way early. Oh, look, yeah, he just went 51st. All right, that's fine. I'm also going to queue up the other recommendations. Alshon Jeffrey. Let's look at the other wide receivers because even if we don't take him this round, it's good to queue them up so that they're on your radar for if they're available later. Alshon Jeffrey, DJ Moore, I'll put those two guys up on my queue. And where there's Alshon Jeffrey, and did DJ Moore get taken? I think DJ Moore might be gone. Yeah, it looks like he was taken. So that's fine. But look, Lindsay did make it back to us, so that's great. Lindsay was a long shot this round. You can see it by the little gun next to his head. That just means there was less than a 50-50 shot that he would make it to us. We lucked out this time. You take advantage of that. That's why I like to use the queue, so we know that, oh yeah, he's still on the board. Let's get him. So let's go to the 6th round. So we got 6th round. Now it's recommending Robbie Anderson, Cam Newton, Jared Cook. Got a nice tight end option, nice quarterback option, great wide receiver option. I love Robbie Anderson. Offers top 50 value, and we're at pick 63. So that's excellent. As far as running backs this round, we got players like Lamar Miller, Tevin Coleman, James White, Tariq Cohen, Miles Sanders, Latavius Murray. Again, guys that I'm not real thrilled with. Tevin Coleman's gone already. Lamar Miller, though, offers really nice value, but we really don't need another running back at this point because we've got 4. So let's look at the wide receivers. And did Robbie Anderson make it back to us? He did not, but Alshon Jeffrey is still on the board. So let's go ahead and take him. And now we will go to the 7th round. And you can see in the 7th round, it is just got to get let the recommendations. There we go. Austin Ekeler, Royce Freeman. Ekeler, I love. Now, let's see if we can get him because every time I try to get that guy, he gets sniped. And oh, did he already get sniped? Oh, man. Doesn't matter that I move him up the draft board. He keeps getting picked earlier and earlier. Oh, E-C-K. No. How do you spell his darn name? E-K-E-L-E-R. Oh, that's why I can't find him. I got it on wide receivers. There he is. He is still on the board. Excellent. If he makes it back to us, I am absolutely going to take him. But let's look at the wide receivers this round. Not a lot of great ones. And again, this is because this is such a short round between our picks, right? We're going from pick 82 to pick 87. So the list is real limited. So let's just look at the 8th round and see if there's anyone else here that really interests us. Jordan Howard, Rashad Penny, Kareem Hunt, not any of those guys, but wide receivers. Oh, look, there's some great wide receivers. Sterling Shepard, Larry Fitzgerald, Josh Gordon. Let's get all those guys queued up as well. If Ekeler makes it back to us, we'll take Ekeler. Otherwise, we'll go with one of these wide receivers. So Shepard, Fitz, and Gordon. I'm just going to pause till it comes back to us, and then we will look at who's available. All right there, friends, we are back, and it is almost our pick. Ekeler is still on the board. And you can see how his rank is at 104. I call that he's below the horizon right now. No one can see him yet when they're just looking at their regular draft board. So that gives you an advantage that you can get this guy before anyone else gets a chance to see and think about, oh, I should take this guy because Melvin Gordon's holding out. So let's go ahead and get Ekeler. Holy crap, man. We've got a hell of a running back core right now. I am super happy with what we have. And you can only take 6 running backs, so we're going to be sticking with other positions after this. So let's definitely get ourselves another wide receiver. You can see I got 3 guys queued up right now, Shepard, Fitzgerald, and Gordon. Those are all the guys that are recommended here for the round 8 pick. And there were some, are there other guys that are a possibility? D.D. Westbrook has interest to me. Sammy Watkins has interest to me. But I got to say, Sterling Shepard's my top choice right now. He is back from his injury, value rank of 69, so he offers a terrific value relative to his draft position. He has always done very well when OBJ has been injured and not playing. So I am working under the assumption that he will be excellent this year. He's going to be a solid wide receiver 2, flex option for your team, and a great player to get at this point in the draft. And this is why you don't need to spend early on running backs, because there are so many that are still so valuable at this point. You just don't need to spend early picks on wide receivers. And I only spent one early pick to get Thielen. So I'm very happy with where we're at. So I'll just get Shepard ready to go there. And I want you to notice something. I want you to notice that I have not been tracking what players are coming off the board. It's because I don't need to, okay? The way my app works is it's breaking down when we're looking at this group of players. At this point, these are all the players that should be available at this point in the draft. Obviously, the long shots are 50-50 or less. But these are the players that should be available at the 9th round of the draft before the 10th round. So you can see what options you have. Jared Goff, quarterback. Darrell Henderson, running back. And I got to say, why not just finish our running back core, pick our 6th running back as Darrell Henderson, the backup to Todd Gurley? So regardless of what happens in Los Angeles this year, we're going to have ourselves an RB1. I certainly like that idea. And Henderson also has been slipping. So it's been easier and easier to get him. So I love that. Other players, Goff, again, if we wanted to go with a quarterback, I'm looking elsewhere for quarterbacks, and you can wait. Again, quarterbacks super, super deep. There are great options available after pick 10. Some guys that I really like, Phillip Rivers, Lamar Jackson. There's also Tom Brady. I mean, there's Tom Brady's ranking went up with me because the Josh Gordon getting off his suspension is fantastic for that whole wide receiver core. What was looking very, very struggling is now in a much better situation. It looks like Gordon has already been taken, though. I had him queued up. Let's see. Is there anyone else on this list that I'm interested in? Here's a steal. Look at this. Darius Geis. Now, he's injured right now, right? He has not been cleared to play. But look at his value rank. 38. We're at pick 106. That is amazing, unbelievable value. Now, my app is not recommending him because my app does not recommend injured players. But shoot, at this point, as our 6th running back, Geis is a great choice. Let's go ahead and we'll put him up on the queue, too. We'll see if he makes it back to us. Running backs, where are you, Geis? He might already be gone. Actually, it looks like he is. Yep, he is gone. Well, it was a pipe dream anyway. Let's also look at round 10 because, again, the quick turnaround, you can see here that it is recommending Sammy Watkins, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Phillip Rivers. See, there's another great quarterback. And we could do that. Let's see here. If we wait to the next round, who do we got for quarterbacks? Let's see here. Phillip Rivers is a long shot. Mitch Trubisky, that's not a good one. Okay, but here we got Jared Goff is a long shot. Prescott, Rivers, Roethlisberger, Winston. That's pretty good range of players that I'm looking at. So let's definitely get our quarterback here in the 10th round. What about in the 9th round? Who's going in this? All right. So I'll just let's queue up some quarterbacks. So let's see. Well, Lamar Jackson is still on the board. Phillip Rivers still on the board. Jared Goff still there. These other guys not really as thrilled in. Dak Prescott I think is going to be decent. Roethlisberger's just too inconsistent. Garoppolo I don't trust at all right now. Either do I don't trust Trubisky either. So I think those guys are 3 good choices. And to get someone like Fitzgerald, and then to get one of these quarterbacks I think would be great. I think that would work. Now look, Lamar Jackson's right here. So I think what I might do is I'm going to I'll take Lamar Jackson first if he makes it to us. And someone else who we haven't gotten yet, we haven't gotten our tight end yet. Ooh, boy, I've kind of waited a long time on that. Mark Andrews in the 10th. Okay, all right. So here's what I could do. I think I'm going to pair up. I'm going to go for Lamar Jackson as my quarterback, and I'm going to take his tight end as my tight end, which I think, that's somebody who offers, he's not a terrible value here, but I think he has tremendous upside, and he's going to be Lamar Jackson's favorite target in that run-first offense that they're building there. Just can't wait to see Baltimore this year. I'm really excited about what that team's going to do. Lamar is still there. Great. Okay, so we're good. And there's Mark Andrews right there. So let's go ahead and we'll take Lamar. And then we'll queue up Andrews. And let's see what other tight ends are on the board, because there might be a better tight end. We got Hooper. Hooper's a decent option too. Hooper's got a lot of good stuff going for him right now. These other guys, though, not as thrilled with, although we might want to take another tight end later. Someone like a Jordan Reed or Greg Olsen. There could be some good value there on those particular players. But let's see here. So we are now in the 10th round. And I'm just looking through the list to see. There's Kalen Ballage. That's another guy who I'm interested in. Devin Singletary. There's some high upside running backs here if they can take over their respective programs. Fitzgerald is still on the board. So let's still get the tight end. We still need a tight end. And we will grab a second tight end a little bit later on. This team's going pretty good right now. I'm pretty happy with how it's turning out. I mean, I love the running backs. Holy crap. We are loaded to bear with running backs, and we might be able to use that to trade for, say, a better tight end. That's certainly in the realm of possibilities. Mark Andrews, you better do good for me. I like that pick. Okay, so let's go on to the 11th round. And in the 11th round, it is recommending Dante Moncrief, Nyheim Hines. So Moncrief would certainly be a decent wide receiver. Are there any other wide receivers of interest? We got Anthony Miller, Deshaun Jackson, Devin Funchess, Jameson Crowder. Not any guys that I'm particularly interested in. Let's look at the 12th round here, though. But, okay, so here's someone, Terrell Williams I like, John Brown I like. If Anthony Miller wasn't injured, I'd like him too, but I do not like him, and he's a long shot anyway. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll get Moncrief and Brown and Williams on our queue. And what I'll do is I'm just going to pause the video. We'll come back when it's our pick, and we'll see who's. Okay, so it just came back to me. We are obviously going to go with a wide receiver. Marquez Valdes-Scantling did make it back to us. I love the upside on this guy, playing with a great quarterback. So I'm going to take him over Moncrief, Brown, or Williams. So let's go ahead and we'll take him. And then I was looking at we are heading into the 12th round right now, and I was looking at tight ends. And, we wanted to take a second tight end just because of Mark Andrews. So we've got players like Jimmy Graham, Greg Olsen, Kyle Rudolph, Jack Doyle, Dallas Goedert, Jordan Reed. All these guys are probably going to be gone by the 13th pick. So we should take one of them, because after that, the ranks really thin out. Austin Hooper, maybe. You know what? I'll wait for Austin Hooper. That's cool. Let's look at, we can go with one of those wide receivers we picked. That will get us to our fourth wide receiver, I guess. Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we already have 4. This will be our fifth wide receiver. And we can also look at, we will look at one more high upside running back to close this draft out. So it is almost back to our pick. Between Moncrief, Brown, and Williams, let's just see here who offers the best value. Brown offers value rank of 95. Terrell is 104. Let's see here. And then Moncrief is 111. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll take Brown. I think that's a good choice. And again, it's just a depth play. If he doesn't work out, it's not going to hurt our team at all. Now, the other thing I like to do, obviously we want to look at a high upside running back that we could slot in. I love our running backs so far. If we look at the 12th round for running backs, Damian Harris is a good choice. I really like his prospects. But the guy I want to target, we go 13th round, Let's jump to 14th round. Let's get ourselves Tony Pollard. That's someone who I want to get. And Pollard is still on the board. You can see he's just buried, right? But this is Zeke's backup. And if Zeke sits, this guy is an RB2 at worst. And I don't know if you've looked at Dallas's schedule to start the season. They got the Giants at home. They're on the road against Washington, and then they come back home and face the Dolphins. So he is going to be productive. You don't need Zeke in there. I've even said that Dallas could open 3-0 without Zeke just because the schedule is so easy. So we definitely want to try to get him. Hopefully he'll make it back to us. Some other guys I really like, Justice Hill, Darwin Thompson, Justin Jackson, but we already got Ekeler, so we don't really need Jackson. He's not going to offer any additional value. Most of the value of Gordon holding out is going to go to Ekeler. So let's just queue up. Let's queue up Darwin. Let's queue up Justice. We'll grab one of these guys on the next round. So Justice and Darwin. Oh, was he already taken? Oh, he might have already been taken. Darn it. All right, let's see who else might be on our list. Let's just look at the running backs right now, see who is still available. Oh, Jalen Samuels, that's nice. He probably won't make it back to us. There's Justin Jackson right there. We can queue him up too. Okay, I think we're set. I think we're good. I'm just going to pause the video. We'll come back when it's our pick, and we'll see who we get. All right, so it is almost back to us. Oh, it is back to us. Okay. So let's look here. So we've got, okay, so Pollard made it back. Let's go ahead and we'll take Pollard. That's our 6th running back. And again, we can start him if we need to. Oh, and that fills up our bench. Oh, good. All we have left is the kicker and defense. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to pause the video. I'll take those guys. We'll come back. We'll review the team. I like this team. And again, this is a standard points league. So I'll be right back. All right, so we're back. So let's review this team. Quarterback, we got Lamar Jackson. Love that guy. Really safe floor. I believe he's going to be the top rushing quarterback in the NFL this year. So that gives him a very safe floor to work with, and I think he's going to be much better in the passing game. Wide receivers, Adam Thielen, Alshon Jeffrey, Sterling Shepard, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, and John Brown. Great wide receiver core. The top 2 guys are fantastic. I'm very happy with that. My running backs, definitely the crown of this team. James Conner, Todd Gurley, David Montgomery, Austin Ekeler, and Tony Pollard. And then our tight end is Mark Andrews, again, the tight end to Lamar Jackson. So I double up on that whenever they connect on a touchdown. And, Phillip Lindsay. I forgot about Phillip Lindsay as my running back. There we go. So, by the way, I took Matt Prater as my kicker. I took Buffalo as my defense. Buffalo has a great early season schedule, so they're a great defense to choose. I usually just stream defenses. But overall, this is a very nice team. For a standard points league, this is very strong. The strength of my team is absolutely the running backs, and I should be able to either just carry these running backs on my team, but if I find myself a little weak at tight end or a little weak at wide receiver, I can probably use them as trade bait to get myself someone better. And both Austin Ekeler and Tony Pollard are startable assets early in the season. So maybe someone who took 2 tight ends would be interested in getting rid of one of them in order to get Tony Pollard because he also took Zeke Elliott, right? So there's lots of options here. I have lots of flexibility and lots of depth. A very nice, well-rounded team. And thank you very much for watching. So please, once again, go to my website, fantasyfootballmaverick.com. Check out the app. I think you're going to find it's absolutely going to raise your game on draft day. It's absolutely going to help you find the right players at each and every round of your draft. And who knows, you even get lucky on certain rounds and players you don't think will be available will make it to your round. And then that's just bonus for you. So thanks for watching, everybody. Happy drafting and good luck this season.